What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Curious Radio for another week, another episode number 53 of Curious Radio. This week I got actress, filmmaker, producer, writer, she does it all, Leslie Lluvet, dropping by the podcast, and I hope I'm saying that right. She's going to kill me if I'm not. Anyway, she dropped by the podcast, and she kind of shared her story and what it's been like, on this path of artistry, and not being from LA, coming out here, what her journey's been like, what it's meant. Anyways, it was a fascinating conversation. I think you guys will enjoy it. I sure as hell did. Here it is, episode 53 with Leslie Lluvet.
Everyone's like, what am I going to talk about for an hour?
Mic check. 1 2 1 2. What's up, Leslie? How are you?
Yo, what's up?
Hey, how do I pronounce your name? Like the last name with the proper enunciation.
I want you to tell me. Try it first.
Lluvet.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
like the first one that got it right.
For
like,
real?
yeah. Third grade, it was always love it or like Juve. Or some shit like that.
What was that? My computer is making noise. Sorry about that. That's funny. Yeah. What is that's Cuban?
No, that's not Cuban at all. It's fucking Eastern European.
For real?
Yeah.
So what are you? A little bit of everything?
Well, my grandmother's African,
All
which
are
is standard.
Eventually. We all come from Africa.
Yeah, but she's like super dark, and
But
then
like for real African.
Yeah. It was her mother. Her mother is African, and then my father's dad is French.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's what we're literally the only family.
But in
the last
Miami,
name.
everyone's Cuban.
Everyone's Cuban. Everyone's freaking Cuban.
Even if you're not Cuban,
even if you're
fucking
Cuban.
Cuban.
Yeah,
in
exactly,
Miami.
exactly.
Even
That's
if you're
how it is.
visiting from another place, you become Cuban once you enter Miami.
As soon as you fucking get to Miami, you're Cuban.
How weird is that?
It's very bizarre. It's very
But
bizarre.
It's also a good ass time if you know how to get around.
It's as weird as when you come here
LA.
and you're not Mexican, and
But
then
it's-
I'm like, I'm the only
It's
Cuban.
weird.
It's like I'm like, damn, I'm like the minority now. It's
That's
so
exactly
weird.
what I felt. I was like, what the fuck? Like everyone else is a part of something that I'm not. Like I'm different. All right. And yeah, it's got to be the same thing for you guys.
But it's kind of hot because then you get there and everyone's like, ooh,
For real?
Who are you from? Yeah,
okay.
like damn, where are you
didn't know.
from?
I didn't know.
It didn't happen to you in Miami.
I was with someone at the time, so
Oh,
I wasn't
well,
out there being like,
you-
"What's up, girl? What's happening with this TV?" Let's do this. I'm gonna hit the shit. Oh, you know what I'm doing.
Wait, we weren't recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Oh,
This thing is just making noise. This TV. Sorry. How long you been out here in LA?
7 years.
Damn.
7 years in January.
What made you finally take the leap?
Honestly, Miami was psychotic. I was going out way too much. I was literally.
But you could do that out here too.
No, not really. Not
Well,
really.
because you lived out there, so you knew more people or something.
What happened was that I got here. And
What happened was
that I got here, and it was like I went to the club. In Miami, you go to the club at 1 a.m. You get dressed 1 a.m. You're
Cocaine.
already out. You're doing your thing.
Drugs everywhere.
It's really crazy. It's honestly, I'm gonna say I thank God that I'm alive right now because.
For real?
Oh yeah, man, I was
Went
crazy.
hard?
I was really
was
bad.
crazy,
I was
too.
really bad. I got to LA
You
and
might
it was
be
like a
crazier.
spiritual journey after.
For real?
that. It was so spiritual. Yeah.
It is kind of spiritual out here. It's kind of hippie out here.
So spiritual. Like it changed my
More
life.
in the current times too. Like I feel like it's ramping up. Everybody's fucking doing yoga and meditating.
Yoga, all
chilling.
that shit. I came to LA. It was 1 a.m. We went to the club. They were calling last call. I was 20 years old. And I was like, what's last call? They're like, oh, we're...
drink.
And I was like, you can't drink? And I looked around and I was like, damn, I think I could do this.
For real?
I swear to God, I literally was like...
That
I think
made
I
you
could do this.
excited?
I loved it. I thought it was amazing. It was a new life. It was no more like this following
Oh, I
the
see.
lead kind of thing. It was so different. And like after I came, it was like no more drinking, no more anything. I went straight cold hard, like core.
Bam.
I lost like 20 pounds.
Yeah, alcohol is
20
such a
pounds.
fucking big. Oh
It
my
literally
god.
was ruining my life.
It's poison. People don't think about it. I'm like, you're poisoning yourself in like small doses, and you don't even think about it. You're doing 2-3 times a week, and they're like, I don't know why I always feel like shit. I'm like, 'cause your fucking body's always having to like recover.
Recovering all the time, and it was like a Monday through Sunday thing. I was looking so old.
Yeah.
I look younger now.
Me too.
It's so crazy. I know. I
look
see
at pictures?
you.
Yeah.
I look at old pictures. I'm like, oh my god, I look like that when I was 19. That's disgusting.
You look 40 as fuck.
I look 40 as shit. What the fuck? And like, it's so funny because like, there's two people that I don't know them but passed away, and it's really unfortunate, but it's the same world, like pills and drinking, and it's
pills
one of
is
those
an
things.
Epidemic out here.
Pills is such a bad epidemic, and it's something
People
that
don't know.
exactly, and it's something that I definitely want to get into and like write about, because I think that young teenagers need to get information on like drug addiction, that especially like pharmaceuticals.
You know,
I mean?
You know what I think a lot of it is we're transitioning into this digital world, and we're forgetting a lot of the things that have made us like humans, like the things that matter. So we're having, people are seeking a need to feel comfort. That's what drugs are, or alcohol is. You're trying to feel comfortable. You're trying to feel good, like sentirte gusto, like you want to fucking, you need something, but your body should already be able to feel fucking good all the time without anything. So it's like, and the more we disconnect ourselves and we pour ourselves into our devices or whatever, like the more we separate ourselves from whatever the fuck that is, and we're disconnecting ourselves, and you know, people need to get fucked up. They need to chase that high. They need to just disconnect from this fucking feeling that they got.
Exactly. Or like maybe you feel kind of bad, you know, and the environment doesn't make you feel bad, so you kind of like latch on to these things. And the unfortunate part is that people are losing their lives, really young people, and it's something that like I feel like I want to kind of like talk more about and put it more into my work, because I remember that when I was young, I was like completely lost. And if it wasn't for this little like wake up call that I got, I probably wouldn't be here right now, to be honest with you.
Damn.
It's crazy. It's really serious, but like
close?
It was like almost death experience. Like I almost died.
Shit. What were you doing?
I was doing a lot of shit. Like
shit.
Yeah, it was a combination of driving under the influence and and honestly, I talk about it freely because it's something that made me who I am today. Yeah. And I feel like more people need to talk about the things that they experienced that kind of made them grow. And I was doing all kinds of stuff. It's Miami, so whatever.
It's important to talk about because a lot of people do this shit, and everybody's like embarrassed of it.
Yeah.
So you feel like you're fucking by yourself when you're going through this shit. But a lot of people go through this shit.
Of course.
I've been there. I've been through the system for driving under the influence as well.
Exactly.
It ain't fun.
It wasn't fun, and I saw a couple people die in Miami. Ooh. So it was one of those things that I was like, damn, like you better wake up.
Together.
You better wake up. Yeah. So then I moved to I saw LA, and I was like,
let's go there.
Freedom. I was like, freedom.
Damn.
And that's what happened.
And then so did you start chasing like a specific career in entertainment, or you just one day or what happened?
I was going to film school in Miami, and I decided that I wanted to start my own like film company. I wanted to make film for Latinos,
like a production company.
I wanted to do nonfiction movies, nonfiction television, everything that was going to be real stories. And I went to film school for 3.5 years. I got my bachelor's, and then along the lines I started getting into acting, which was kind of by hope.
Yeah. Probably because you were trying to make projects and you're like, I can't find actors.
I literally was trying to make projects, but I wanted to find real people that had literally been through real shit, and it was like not working. And then one day I met my mentor Martin Donovan, who was amazing. He's so amazing, so spiritual, and like he taught me how to just be an artist. Exactly. It was like Zen, but he literally was like, your eyes tell the truth. And then I started doing it. Yeah. And then I forgot about creating until 2 years ago when shit got hard. Yeah. And I was like, no, you need to make your own stuff.
Because exactly. You got to make your own shit, because you can't just wait for people to be fucking being like, hey, here's this, here's that. You got to take matters into your own fucking hands. Exactly. You know, and we all have there's no excuse now.
There's no excuse at all.
Like here, like doing this, I spent a couple $1,000s on this shit.
This is amazing.
Which is tight. Like whatever.
This is amazing. This is a vibe. I could talk here for hours if you're like for real.
This is
like,
therapy. This is free therapy for everybody.
I love this. No, seriously, this is legit. But basically, that's what I did. I like literally just, I was like, I need a crew.
So what was happening? What was happening? Like you.
I was like tired of like the competition that was going on, and I was just kind of like, I feel like the Latin community is like we need to start working together, and there needs
100%.
to be more projects for us. And I feel like the competition comes from the lack of like jobs.
Yes and no. I think a lot of it is, and it culturally translates, whether it be in film or whatever. Latinos are very competitive against each other, not realizing that we're all the same fucking thing here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, oh, that dude's Mexican, or oh, that dude's, Guatemalan, or oh, that dude's Salvadoran, or whatever. It's just like, hey, man, we're all the same fucking thing out here. We all need to help each other out.
Exactly.
Just like you see a lot of African American communities banding together, like in hip hop groups or whatever, or doing their own music thing and like figuring their own shit out. I don't know, like, it's very competitive with Latinos out here, and I think it's very representative in film as well. I think a lot of it is like we shoot ourselves in the foot too. It's not only is it fucked up for us, like there isn't a lot of shit out there for us as it is, but then we're not binding together as it, as one unit, and like it's happening now, but it's a little late.
It's a little late for that, and like I just got so tired of seeing the competition, and I was like, you know what? How can I make this? How can I change this? So I started to just create my own content and putting my friends.
Did you write? You wrote it.
I had like five scripts written.
You already had them?
I had them already done.
From film school?
I had 90 Miles, which is the story about us coming on a boat when I was 4.
Ooh,
my mom, my dad.
You did that already, right?
I haven't done it yet. I'm gonna film it in April with one of my friends, Melissa. She's amazing, but she has like the same mentality as me. And I just thought to myself, I want to get a group of men that are Latinos that is just like, let's build the community. Let's get more jobs for us. Yeah. And let's stop competing. Yeah. Because I just feel like it's like, why? What's the point? If you take a look at
Nobody's gonna shine like you're gonna shine. You know what I mean? We're all different.
Exactly. Everybody's different. Nobody could play the same thing anyway. Exactly. It's just like we all have our own little like magnetic like energy. And I was just kind of like sitting in the room and auditions, and it was like kind of weird. And I was like, you know what? I just want to create my own projects. Yeah. And obviously I love auditioning. I'm not going to ever stop doing that. Yeah. It's part of the job.
Part of the game.
But also part of the game right now in this like day and age is to create your own content.
Yeah. 100%.
And I like realized like, why not? Let's just do it. Let's get it done.
I mean, you fucking went to school for it.
Exactly. And I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I forgot about it. And I was like, damn, I'm literally just focusing on auditioning. And I like got stuck in this like acting world where it was like, amazing, you travel.
It's because it's fucking peaks and valleys, man.
Literally, I was getting at the top, and I was like, damn, Penthouse, Vancouver, and then I was like, oh, and then it was like, boom, and when it hit rock bottom again, I was like, okay, you gotta create your own shit, like you gotta just do it.
But that's the lesson that you gotta take from every loss is you gotta take a lesson away. I think it's people gotta rethink their approach, especially out here. Like people gotta rethink their shit. Like, yo, man, when shit hits the fan, it means like make some change, make something happen because it's the universe is sending you a message. Nala's saying hi. Universe is sending you a message saying like, yo, some shit's not working. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Boom. I don't know. Right. So did you start shooting it right away, or what was your process?
I basically had a show that I wrote called This Is Life, which is a bunch of kids, and it's an ensemble cast. Well, it's not out yet. We just finished shooting last month.
Will be.
Yeah, it's going to be out. And I started directing it. I got a co-director with me, and I found this whole new love for directing that it was the first thing I wanted to do originally was direct and produce and write. And I just forgot about it. And when I was on set, I was like, oh, my God. This is it. Like, this is what I forgot about this. Like, you don't just have to be an actor. Like, you could be everything you want to be. So I started doing that. And then I was like, okay, once this is done, we're going to be filming Spitfire. Then we're going to be filming 90 Miles. And I'm going to be filming. I'm going to do them all. And I don't care. Like, honestly, it just came together. I had no budget. I had no money.
It's kind of how it goes. You just got to take a step.
I just took a step. I literally asked the universe, I need a cameraman with a red. And I found the most amazing guy who, like, was a G. And he was like, I believe in you. Let's just create.
I got a red.
Out of nowhere. I got a red. I was like, oh, my God.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. And that's what happened. And creatively, we, like, now are a team. We work together really good. And now he's like, what's the next project? Let's do it. Let's do it. And I was like, that's what I want. Yeah. I want to be on set all the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's a muscle, though. You know what I mean? It's a muscle. And you just got to keep working this shit. I talked about this with other people that have been on their actors. I'm like, man, like, everybody all here is trying to get a job, but they're not doing the things that they're trying. Like if you're not getting a job, it's because you're not employable. You're not. I guess you know what I mean. it's a fact, many different things, but like a lot of people out here want to be an actor, but they're not acting. So it's like, how are you gonna book a job when you're not doing that shit?
Exactly.
Like you're never doing it.
Exactly.
And then you're trying to get me on set. It's like, well, you never do this shit up until you're in. You know, are you in class? Are you making shit? Are you shooting shit? Are you fucking just sharpening your fucking knife?
Exactly.
All you gotta be doing.
Exactly. And you got to be working out the muscle you got to work out the muscle every single day. If I'm not on set, I'm writing. If I'm not writing, I'm focused on my auditions. That's good. If I'm not on my auditions, I'm thinking about what shots I'm going to do for 90 miles. Like, I'm always thinking about what I'm going to do. Yeah. I'm not going to sit around waiting for an audition. I'm going to just be like, yo, let's keep going.
They come.
They come all the time.
And the ones that are yours are yours.
No, and you know what's funny? When I started directing and working on the project, more auditions were coming in. Yeah. And I was like...
It always happens that way, right? Once you make yourself busy, all the other shit starts coming back.
It just starts coming back. And I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I want to do. And it actually taught me how to work with actors, and it taught me how to be a better actress, because I was like thinking, I was directing actors, and I was really trying to get into the core of like making them feel and not feel uncomfortable, because a lot of the stuff is really gritty. It's all based off of real stories. And a lot of I hired my friends, which I was like, oh, okay, my friends is comfortable, whatever. It ended up being a little bit more intense, because it was like, I had this one episode called Grinder, which is about this like...
The app Grinder?
The app Grinder. And it's like this...
For those of you who don't know, it's for gay dudes trying to meet each other and fuck.
Basically. And in Miami, it's like this huge thing. And like, people are on it like 24/7. Like, they're not even at work. They're just like on Grinder at 24/7.
Trying to fuck.
Trying to have sex. So I
wrote... Trying to get a dick suck.
So I wrote this app. I wrote this show, Grinder, because this guy falls in love with this other guy, and...
Kind of like Catfish.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh, but I have this STD, and he goes, I don't care. So it's basically he broke his moral code. So because he broke his moral code, there was like a fucking lesson to be learned after that. Yeah. But the scenes were so fucking intense, like sexual, and I was directing my friend, and it was kind of like, I ended up getting into an argument, and I was like, wow, it taught me so much. Yeah. Like, it taught me how to wear, like...
Know your boundaries.
Know my boundaries. Know how to, like, work with human. Like, be, like, not as... I'm very tough, and it taught me how to be a little bit more
because you probably learned that way, right? You learned a tough way. Like, people can be tough on you.
Exactly.
The thing is, we forget that not everybody's going to learn the way we learn. I'm the same way. I need to get the shit kicked out of me every now and then. And it's like, some people... I have a younger brother who's a lot more sensitive to that shit. It's like, nah, you can't be, like, yelling at him and shit.
Exactly.
Like, I respond well to it.
It was tough love growing up. That's how I learned.
Same shit.
So tough love on everybody else. Yeah. So I was on set. I had to learn really how to get more passionate, more soft with different kinds of characters. So
because if you do that, they shut down more and more and more, and you're like, fuck, I can't get the performance I want.
Exactly.
Because they're shutting down.
Exactly.
You know.
And I had friends that I was in acting class with that, like, we were arguing on set, and I was like, wow, I never thought I would have argued with this person, but I'm here arguing on set with this person. But then, we created amazing art, and I looked at the footage, and I was like, wow, like, this came out of, like, no money.
Yeah.
And it was, like, really, and I just could see in the future working on a big production with the people that I love, creating jobs for them, creating jobs for other people that are, finding it really hard to, like, even get into the rooms.
Well, especially now, there's so many platforms for you to get your shit out. So just make, you know what I mean? Like, even if you're just making your shit, like, there's so many different, like, there's Hulu and Netflix and Amazon, but then there's also, like, Crackle, and there's the Go 90, like, all these different platforms. Everything's going to go to the internet. At least that's my theory.
Everything.
I feel like it's the idea of, like, cable and having, I think that's going to go away eventually.
Cable's totally going to go away.
And then, and it's going to transition to all of it online somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of people just don't have time to be sitting down and watching TV.
They do, though. If you think about it.
You mean like cable, though? Like sitting there watching TV for like 4 hours?
Well, that's what's changing, right? How people consume content. Because what was happening is that they were programming the TV on how people 9 to 5s, the schedules, you know what I mean? Most people are at work from 9 to 5, and then they put the good shit right when they're getting home from work or whatever, the news in the morning or whatever.
Right.
But now people are changing their careers and shit. Jobs are going away. Robots are coming.
Yeah. Habits.
So,
the habits are done. Like the 9 to 5 habit.
Just like, everything's adjusting. It's all going to this digital age. And I don't think cable's going to be the fucking... I think it might still be around for maybe another 5 years, 10 years.
And then you think it's gonna go?
I think it's not that it's gonna go. It's just not gonna fucking be what it is.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't feel as bad with the cable though as I felt as bad for Blockbuster. When it was done, that hurt my heart a little
Me
bit.
too. But because you have experiences
the
there, right?
90s are gone. They were gone. I was like, no.
You spend hours
looking
there.
for a movie. I was
just talking shit about. Did you see this one?
Yes.
This
one
looks pretty
was
good.
Bad. This one was this one was so bad. I was like, oh, do you remember seeing this?
It was trial and error. It was trial and error.
So
sometimes you got some dope ass shit you didn't suspect, but sometimes you got some dog shit.
You got some bullshit. And then, you got the candy. You get your candy and the popcorn. Yeah. Maybe you're going on a date.
That's what it was,
like
though.
The best. Oh, man.
The nostalgia of like...
Yeah.
Of like, having spend time like that. Nah, that shit's a Hollywood Video. It's when there was ones out here called Hollywood Video too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I never know. Miami was Blockbuster.
Blockbuster here too, everywhere. It was huge.
Yeah.
It was everywhere.
It was amazing. I remember going with on a date, and I was like, okay, we're gonna see this, and it was instead of the
original
movie,
Netflix and chill.
Exactly, the original Netflix and chill. And now it's Netflix and chill, and you can't even go through a whole page without being like, what am I gonna watch?
Yeah.
And now I'm literally being Netflix for an hour. Like, what am I gonna watch here? I don't even know.
I've been watching the most random shit on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm watching this show about fucking bull riders.
Bull riders.
The real life. I forget what the fuck it's called. It's so fascinating though.
Are you serious?
It's a bunch of cowboys in the middle of. There are millions of people who watch this shit. They ride bulls.
Ride bulls for fun? Just riding bulls
professionally. They make millions of dollars doing this shit.
Holy shit.
And now Brazilians are coming from Brazil and they're kicking all the Americans' asses on this shit. I'm like, this is fucking fascinating.
Are you serious?
These motherfuckers are riding bulls, making $1 million, and a lot of them die and get stomped out by a fucking bull.
Are you serious?
It's insane. They get paralyzed because they get stepped on their neck.
Oh man, that shit sucks.
High stakes.
No.
So that's what I watch.
It's funny because Netflix is almost a little bit like a brainwash. I remember watching Food Matters. I was watching this documentary, Food Matters, and that's when I first thought I'm gonna become a vegetarian.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna eat animal meat. Yeah. Okay. So I haven't been eating meat at all, and every now and then
How long's it been?
It's been 2 months.
Okay. And then every now and then you what?
Well, it's been on and off for a year.
Yeah.
And it was so hard the first month. Yeah. I wanted because I'm Cuban. I grew up eating pork.
I get it. I didn't grow up eating pork. Oh, my mom was traumatized because they had a little pig that she grew up with, and then one day he got old, and her dad killed it, and they ate it, and she's like, "We're never eating pork." So
oh my god.
She's like, "It's a dirty animal," and that is a dirty animal.
It is such a dirty animal.
So it's it's a dirty animal. We're not gonna eat that shit, and this and that. They have parasites, yada yada yada. So we never grew up eating pork, but it's a big thing in the Latin communities, though. Chicharrones.
Chicharrones.
Yeah.
In Cuba, that's all there is pork. This is the only pork. If you have meat, it's pork.
Yeah.
That's it. And if you find a cow, oh my god, that's a miracle. If you find a cow, you're considered rich in Cuba. You have a cow, okay, you're rich.
Oh, he's fancy.
Oh, he's fancy. He has a cow.
Out here, there's so much goddamn cow.
Yeah, no.
It's ridiculous.
In Cuba, you're special if you have a cow. It's you gotta. But the thing is that I saw that documentary and I was like, oh my god, cancer growing on all this shit, and I was so disgusted. So. Oof. I saw a series of
you saw too much
shit on Netflix, and I decided I'm gonna just cut it out.
Have you seen Cowspiracy?
I haven't. No.
Oh man.
Is this sad?
No, it's not sad. No. It's just about the business of it, how they made it happen, through government and shit.
It's so messed up. I think it's
a
so
conspiracy.
Bad.
Well, the thing is, it's that's what's called Cowspiracy.
Cowspiracy. Yeah.
The whole thing is because. I'm not against people eating meat. It's just that we're disconnected from the fucking process. We don't know where this fucking animal was at, what it was eating, what they're pumping into it, what they're injecting into this, whatever this fucking animal is getting. We're getting after that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's we don't know the stress levels that it was under, the type of we're just this cheeseburger's fucking good. You know what I mean? And we're so disconnected from that. I think if you're gonna eat meat, the safest way to do it would be obviously yourself or getting it from a responsible source, because even the meat itself, if you watch these documentaries and shit, they did a study on how many E. coli cells per gram of beef it was, and it was 20,000 on a organic good piece of meat, and 60 million on a processed piece of meat.
That sounds that sounds like my worst nightmare.
It's ridiculous.
I'll pass.
But that's what they do at these markets, especially these Vallartas and shit.
Oh man, it's so bad. It's so bad. And honestly, it's cruel. And I'm not against people eating meat. People eat meat. That's
eat
their
what
situation.
You want to eat.
I'm you eat whatever you want to eat. It's more from my personal shit. I don't want to. I don't want to have be 40, 50, have diabetes and all these things that I saw my.
Plus,
my family
if you feel better a lot of times. You know what I mean? It's
you
not for everybody.
Really
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I want a badass burger, you know, with some like
juicy cheese. She took a deep breath. She said, "Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I want a badass burger."
That was a commercial right there.
Yo, for real.
But and I'm
you
like,
got the job.
You got the job, and it's like, I don't know. I just feel like it's and then, like you see these videos with these tumors and shit, and it's like, oh, it's disgusting. So I decided to pass.
But you don't. That's the thing. You don't know what you're getting. You might be getting some good shit. You might be getting some fucking tumor meat.
You might be getting exactly.
It's a good chance.
And I'm just like, I'm good. I'll pass on that.
Yeah.
And it's like.
But when you go back to Miami,
it's so hard. My whole entire family is eating like black beans.
And they're looking at you like,
what are you, so weird? And like they're eating the black beans, right? But inside those black beans, it's a whole cow.
Yeah.
There's a whole cow and a whole pig. Like there's bacon. There's like
I got lied to in Miami, and I was like, this don't taste like normal motherfucking beans.
It's not.
What is that shit called? Is it moro? No.
Oh, frijoles? No. Yeah, you talking about the brown rice?
No, I don't know what the fuck it was. I don't know. I was in Miami. Yeah, maybe.
It sounds like moro. Yeah. There's like a bunch of like animal products in there.
Yeah, exactly.
I
was like, I'm being lied to consistently out here.
Oh yeah, all the time. You know, they just want to fatten you up. You probably gained 10 pounds when you went over there. You come back and you're like, I have diabetes. I can't breathe. I don't know what's happening.
You can do that shit out here too, though. There's a bunch of food everywhere. Like, it just depends on what you're looking for. But there definitely are a lot more options out here for like healthy shit.
There's way more healthy options.
No wonder you see it out here. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna go vegetarian. I'm gonna do yoga. I'm gonna meditate.
My life is gonna change. I'm telling you, I lost 20 pounds when I got here. I could not believe it, and it was not. I wasn't even trying. Yeah. Mind you, I grew up drinking café con leche, like Cuban coffee, when I was 4 years old.
Cuban coffee is crack, by the way.
Cuban coffee is crack. I grew up drinking café con leche. 4 years old, like just gallons of milk. That was the thing to do.
I was too. I mean, my family, they come from coffee. That's the big export from El Salvador. I've been drinking coffee forever.
Really? I mean, I see you drinking coffee. It's like, what time? It's like 8 o'clock at night.
I know.
I drink coffee. I'm like, what? Are you not gonna go to sleep tonight?
No, I'll sleep fine. Like, this is my 3rd cup today.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I've never had that kind of coffee. Is it pretty crazy?
No, I mean, I'm fucking used to it. I cut it out for a minute, and then when I reintroduced it, I felt like I was gonna have a fucking heart attack every time I drink a cup of coffee. But now I'm fine. I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back. Coffee.
That's what happens to me when I drink Cuban coffee. I'll take a little shot.
That's just different too. Like, even to me, I'm like, I drink a lot of coffee, and I'm like, damn, this shit kicks, yo.
Did you try it out there?
Fuck yeah.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I don't know what's in there.
That's how Cubans get shit done, man.
It gets it done.
I gotta fucking go.
Yeah. My mom will be at work. It's 10 o'clock at night. She's still at work. I'm like, what are you doing drinking Cuban coffee? I'm like, of course you are.
Of course you are. You're on crack, mom.
You're on crack. Okay. Thank you very much.
That's funny, man.
It's
so
crazy.
what do you plan on doing with all this stuff? You're gonna self-distribute all this stuff?
Basically, I'm gonna film it all. It's This Is Life is getting edited right now.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of the editing process.
How many episodes you doing in that?
We did 7.
Nice.
We shot
7. Them all?
We already shot them all.
Nice.
And now I'm moving into doing Spitfire, which is these 2 vigilantes. They go to the underground club, and basically I don't want to spill too much about it, but basically
I don't want to spill too much, but here's the story.
But here's the story. I'm gonna tell you everything.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. They're vigilantes, and basically they go to this underground club where they kind of take off all these men that they sell women.
What's it called? Human trafficking?
Human trafficking. So they sell women, and basically what these 2 women do
Taken. Liam Neeson's going to come out. You have my daughter.
You have my daughter. So, yes and no, because the women have their own history with it. So they were abused by this, like, cult,
most women were abused at this point.
Exactly. So they come back, and they basically, like, they just get revenge. They get revenge.
So it's a big fuck you film.
It's also, yes, and it also, like, the human trafficking is kind of like a currency in this world. It's a currency. So, like, if you have a virgin, you're, like, considered, like, high status. And if you have, like, it depends, like, how your women, is passed around or whatever. But basically, yeah. So I wrote that story, like, a while ago. When I was I forgot, I was watching the news and I saw that there was so much human trafficking in the United States. United States, there's so much.
There's children are getting human trafficked.
Exactly.
And they're all.
And I was like, I need to write something about this. So
there's big foundations that like a lot of celebrities are a part of.
So much.
I don't like that word. Celebrity.
And you know what happened? So we came from Cuba, and I was thinking like, wow.
How old were you when you guys came from Cuba?
I was 4.
Damn.
We came on a boat.
You did the 90 miles?
We did 90 miles, yeah. We came on a boat.
I did too, but I actually did cross the border in my mom's belly.
Oh, you were...
She was pregnant with me when she was
nice.
coming from El Salvador.
So you didn't have to deal with like the You probably did.
No, I was born here.
Oh, you were born here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was the first one. I'm the anchor baby.
Oh, okay. First generation.
Yeah, first generation.
Nice.
Yeah. My brother was born in El Salvador. My sister was born in El Salvador. I was the first one born out here.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So what happened is that there's some women in Cuba that will literally like prostitute themselves for money to be able to eat. And I was watching this documentary, and I saw a lot of women that were doing that for a living because that's the only way that they could survive. It was American money. So I was like kind of like, damn, like I really thought to myself, like, how fortunate am I that we made that trip, because we survived.
Yeah.
My mom was like my age. My dad was my age. And they were like, we're going to do this.
Isn't that crazy when you think about that shit?
I think about that all the time. And whenever things get rough, I'm like, no. I'm like, you better fucking...
They figured it out. They had like 3 fucking kids.
Exactly.
They're in a new country or some shit, you know?
Yeah. And I saw that documentary, and I was like, I want to tell a story about human trafficking and how, like, 2 women can get back at that, you know? Because I saw this whole documentary, people were, like, selling themselves, and they didn't know anything else.
Well, I mean, that's your... If you ain't got shit, what else are you? That's so sad to think about. Yeah. Like, I got nothing but my body, and I'm willing to give this up
just to survive and eat and get food, like the 4 pieces of meat that we have left in the carniceria, you know. And the sad part is that, like, it gets deeper. So some parents were selling their kids for money. They were selling their kids for money. They were selling their kids for like $50,000 that were virgins, and I was like, this is insane. So I was like, how do I make this like a different...
I couldn't even fathom that, yo.
I can't either. And it's such a big culture, like in India and these places, and like Russia. And I was like, dude, I have to tell this story. Yeah. And I had it, and I was like, so that's the next thing that I'm going to be doing after 90 miles.
Intense as fuck.
It's going to be pretty crazy. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I just want to tell gritty stories that are real.
Yeah, no
stories.
shit.
None of this little like fantasy land. Like, I want to tell stories about survivors that have survived some dark ass fucking shit.
Well, because it's captivating, you know.
It's just, I want people to feel whenever they're sitting down watching my stuff. I want them to feel. I want them to cry, laugh. I want them to like experience life all over again, you know.
You're a storyteller.
Yeah.
What made you fall in love with filmmaking?
Honestly, since I was like a little kid, my parents we would just sit and watch movies. And I'm talking about like, we would watch Exorcist when I was like 4.
That shit scared the fuck out of me.
Tell me about it.
Because we were super religious too growing up. Were you guys religious as shit?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That shit scared for years. Yeah. I was terrified. I had nightmares about that.
I had nightmares.
So you guys would watch Exorcist?
We would watch
amongst what else?
Yeah, so we would literally have family time. It was all of us sitting down. And it was like my mom, my uncle, and it was just a movie every single like night. And it was like Exorcist, Jaws. It was like Scream. It was like, you know, we Alfred Hitchcock.
And I saw Leslie in the front.
And I'm here like 4 years old. Like, how did they do that? Like, I wouldn't even be focused on the movie. I'd just be thinking, how did they do this? And I remember we would watch Alfred Hitchcock and all these movies. And like, I came to LA and nobody knew who like Alfred. Like, Gary was like, who's Hitchcock? And I was like, you don't know who Hitchcock is, and you're an actor.
I'm one of those guys that doesn't know shit about shit.
You don't know Hitchcock?
No, I know Hitchcock, but I'm not deep. Like, it's different. I'll explain. But anyway.
Yeah.
So you were in love with all these things from like a super young age then.
I was like such a little kid, and in Cuba, if there was a movie on TV, it's a big deal. So you sit down and you watch it. So since we were little, we had a little small old TV.
Yeah.
And a movie would come on, and I'm like, oh, there's a movie. We would sit down and watch it because it was rare.
Yeah.
So we would really cherish that moment.
I used to love that. Like,
it was
just watching shit.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a little kid, like Saturday morning cartoons, like growing up, that was some of my favorite shit in the world.
I love it. It just brings the family together. Yeah. So I was the person that was sitting in front of the television, and I was thinking to myself, how did they create this like entire world? Like, I remember watching E.T.
I used to get lost.
I would be lost. Like, first of all, I'd be like, dude, how did he create this? Like, I just wanted to know how he did it.
Well, it's crazy that you even do that. What a clever little kid, because, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, wait, this isn't real? No, it's not real. Okay, how the fuck did they do that?
Exactly.
Instead of being like, ooh, look at all this cool shit in front of me.
Yeah, it was just like, I was like the whole time trying to figure it out. And I was like, I want to figure it out. And then I went to school, and I remember saying I want to be a filmmaker or whatever. Everybody would just be like, you're crazy. Yeah, people would be like, you're psycho. You're crazy.
From like a young ass age?
I was super little. I was like, I want to be a filmmaker. And I want to be like, I was captivated by film.
That's tight.
Because it was like a fake world that looks so real and make it like, I wanted to live in it. And I was like, and I almost felt like I had lived in certain movies that I was like, did I experience that one time in my life?
It kind of is though. That's what, because stories, you know, like you're going to feel it in one way or another. You know what I mean? You're going to see it however it speaks to you. Like it's all going to hit us in a certain way where you're like, ooh.
Exactly.
You know. And
it draws you in. And I just remember thinking like, I want to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
And when I did, I was like, oh my God, I can make whatever I want. Because it was so easy, right? Yeah. Like at the time, I thought it was this like super like.
The naive of it. You're just like.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh my God, this is not that hard. Yeah. Like as long as you're telling a really good story.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty much then. And then I remembered it just brought the family together. That's and it was like I had my uncle was like, "Oh, this movie sucks," or my mom, "Oh, I'm scared," and it was like all different types of characteristics.
It was a movie. It was a movie itself.
Yeah, it was a movie within a movie. And then by the end of the movie, I already knew what was gonna happen because everybody was already talking about it. So I was like,
"Oh, is this the other one? Oh, I remember this movie. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
This is the one that this happens."
Yeah. That was family time.
I'm right here, man. I heard.
It was like
I know the ending now. Thanks.
Was exactly in the Latino family. Spoiler alert! From the beginning of the movie to the end, you already knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah,
you already knew it.
I remember, that's why again, like that Blockbuster experience was such a thing too, because you were just trying to find something that you hadn't already watched,
exactly,
or nobody knew what the fuck it was, or some shit that would be dope. Sometimes you would find a gem, you know what I mean? But a lot of times you find some horse shit.
So yeah. But when you find those really good movies, it's like. Damn,
that's one of my favorite movies.
I'll watch it forever. And then I was thinking like I want to make a movie just like this.
Yeah.
And it's like
I love it, man. I love telling stories. I've always been a storyteller. I feel like I can't shut the fuck up to save my own life. That's why I have a show where I talk.
Yeah, exactly. And you just want to tell, and it's like you want to tell all kinds of stories, and it's just like I feel like
I blame my parents.
Yeah, right? I know. My parents are kind of artists too, but they decided to go the business route.
Yeah.
But my mom was a singer.
Interesting.
Yeah, she was a singer.
My mom is such a good storyteller. I'm like, I always think like, now that you're saying that, like, it makes me think like, what the fuck would these people do? Like if they didn't have to do the shit that they did for us, you know what I mean? Your mom probably would have been singing, but she's like, instead she's on a fucking raft with you and she's got to go 90 miles.
Yeah.
And you can't see shit.
Exactly. And my mom always said it like, I wasn't going to let you be like a prostitute in Cuba, or like let you fall into that life,
which is worst case scenario.
And honestly I always think about, I was like, damn, like, do you think that I would probably like, I think to myself, like, look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, would you have like,
okay, Leslie, look at yourself in the mirror,
Leslie, like, I like, would you have been taking that route, like when you're, like, I wonder,
let's explore this character.
I was like, let's explore this vibe. I was like, what if, because I have this whole idea for my movie 90 Miles. I want it to be a book, a documentary. I want it to be a 5 series. I want it to be like,
well, I mean, it's happened a million fucking times. Why not?
Exactly. So I want to turn it into a franchise. But I was thinking like, one day I was looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, damn, if you didn't come from Cuba and live this life you live here, what would you be doing in Cuba? Like, what would be your story in Cuba? Would you have left or would you have stayed? And I actually haven't been back to Cuba since I was 8 years old. I have family there that they haven't seen me since I was 4.
Damn.
Yeah. So I always wonder like what would have happened if I would have stayed there.
I think about shit like that too.
Or like what would have happened to you, right? Yeah. Like if you were not born here, if you would have stayed.
Or even like, when I was born, we were in South Central, like in the hood.
Right.
So it's like, what if we would have stayed in that world? Like, would I have been a little fucking cholito or what?
Yeah.
It was different back then. Like there were shootouts left and motherfucking right out here.
Really?
When I was growing up.
Oh man.
It was crazy. Gangs were a thing. They're not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Not like they used to be, at least.
Right. It's not
some places they are, like in Chicago. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
but like
bad.
but it used to be nuts out here, and it's like, what if I would have fallen into that world? Like,
yeah.
A lot of people that I grew up with, like people that were like kids that I went to school with, a lot of them fell into that world. A lot of them. All my homies.
Yeah.
Like I see them on Facebook and shit with that dude.
Oh, are you serious? Yeah. It's so scary. You see, and I take a look and I'm like, why am I so different? That I'm like, I didn't really stay behind. And I'm like,
because you look at things differently. John, to the way I always say, how you do anything is how you do everything.
So that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. So it's like just like the way you're looking at movies, where you're like, how did they make this shit? That's how you do everything.
Yeah.
You think about shit like in a different way. You're like, all right, let me break this down. So how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah. I like that. That's actually a good theory.
You know what I mean? Like, well, I think it's true. Like, if you half-ass things, you half-ass everything. You don't half-ass one thing.
Exactly.
If you procrastinate on one thing, you procrastinate on everything.
Yeah.
If you're on time to things, you're on time to everything.
Yeah.
It's how you do anything. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
I feel like that. If you give bitchy ass workouts, that's how you do everything. I'll go hard in the paint.
Yeah, you go hard in the workouts. Yeah.
Oh, I go fucking insane.
Oh yeah. Was it hard to transition from like? Because I know you've lost a lot of weight. You're like super cut now.
60 pounds.
That's intense. It's like my 20,
Fatty.
But you're like for men. It's
yeah,
like
exactly.
way different.
Exactly. For
yeah.
women, 20 pounds is a fuckload of weight.
Yeah. It's crazy because men, you guys have like, you have
but
less
I've never
fat
been
than
this
women.
Small. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, naturally. Yeah, but it's I don't know. It's weird. I've never been this small.
Was it weird to like get that body in when you're like?
Yeah, I'm still getting used to it.
Really?
For a while, like even like getting back to booking, like not because of like me, it's just because I was always perceived I was a bigger dude. I was 217 at the time, and like I've kind of always walked around like because I grew up skinny. I was a scrawny kid, so like when I got to like the age where I could put on muscle, I was like I'm gonna be fucking huge, and I was big as fuck, and it was always like damn, this big dude's he can act, you know what I mean? It was kind of like a surprise, like oh shit, you know what I mean? Walking into these rooms, and then once I like became what I am now, it was more like people were like looking at me different, like they expect this, and that was just kind of like me. Then I started feeling like self-conscious about myself, or you know what I mean? Like I didn't, the way people were perceiving me, I hadn't even thought about that. It was more like, okay, who's this guy? You know what I mean? They're looking at me like, what's going on? So I don't know. It took me a while to adjust to be like this is what the fuck it is now.
And you're almost like, damn.
I'm cold all the time.
You like, oh yeah, because I
don't have that extra body fat. I used to sweat all the time though.
Oh really?
Yeah, shit was whack.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah. So it's time for some hot seat questions.
What's a hot seat question?
Leslie.
What time does the hot seat question come in? Has it been 40 minutes already? Damn.
Terapia. All right.
Oh my god, what are you asking me? Shit.
What's a perfect night for you?
Perfect night.
What does it consist of? Like if we were like, yo, Leslie, you gonna have a dope ass Friday or Saturday night, whatever fucking day it is. What are the things that you need in your night for it to be a badass night?
Does it have to be like
anything?
I could do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's things that you do like on the regular. You can't be like, I'm gonna fucking rent an airplane. Like, no.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna be like, my perfect night would be whoever I'm with.
Yeah.
Gets me like a dope ass like jet. We go to the Caribbean and have like 2-nighters there at the Caribbean.
See, but that's a vacation. No, like a dope ass night out. Like you're at home and somebody's like, yo, what's a perfect night for you? A perfect
night for me is just salsa dancing. To be honest with you, like to some Cuban music, and I can just get lost.
La descarga.
Something like that. But like if I was at home, it would be like an underground salsa club where I could just dance salsa for like 3 hours.
That's a thing out there, man. I'm not like a fucking salsa.
I grew up in like El Solar, which is like the hood in Cuba. And what you did is like dance. Yeah. You just dance. And that's starve. How you get away from everything. You dance or you starve. Yeah. So a perfect night for me was literally just dancing.
Damn.
I love dancing.
Why don't you do a project where you have dancing in it?
I have never thought about it because dancing was kind of like my own little escape.
I know,
that's
why. Why don't you fucking merge both of them?
I know, but it's crazy. A lot of people don't even know that I know how to dance.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know that.
No, nobody knows.
What if you put out a film and it was just like all of a sudden
everyone's just dancing?
Oh shit, she can dance.
Yeah.
It's like that's all I fucking do.
I used to dance as a little kid, and then it just
you see.
I
always say do the shit that you wanted to do. Like I always say like make the 8-year-old version of yourself proud.
Yeah, that would be a dancer. I would have been a dancer. Yeah.
Think about that because like I always say the 8-year-old version because it's before people get hardened by the world and turn into assholes.
Oh no, yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the kid. Oh my god, this fucking girl today and I'm gonna go off on a tangent because I said before you get hardened. I was driving today, and we were gonna both merge into the same lane, or we were both merging into the same lane. I didn't notice she was whatever she so she swerved super hard. This girl. She's like, you're fucking stupid. And she starts yelling at me. I'm like, yo, this girl is crazy.
What?
So I roll my window down and I'm going to say like, yo, my bad. Like, I don't know. We both fucked up, I guess.
Right.
Both equally. And she gets a handful of pennies.
She didn't.
I swear to God.
Threw them at you?
And I was like, yo. And it missed me. It hit my window behind me. And I'm like, this crazy bitch. And she's like, fuck you. And she starts swerving all over these cars, cursing other people out. I'm like, this crazy psychopath. And I was like, baby girl, I just got out of yoga. It's all love.
You just got out of, you were at yoga?
I was
you're so vegetarian. Oh, that's funny. You went to Bikram yoga. Oh,
you know, that shit's hard, though.
I used to do that, of course. Bikram? Oh, man, that shit is so tough.
People don't give it enough credit, man.
I literally get anxiety after like an hour. You know, it's like an hour and 20 minutes.
I do, an hour and a half, yeah.
Oh, man, that shit is
I did a 75-minute today because I didn't have a 90-minute, but usually it's 90-minute.
It's rough. I get way too hot.
It's mental, though.
It's super mental.
That's why I like it. Because it's like, you want to fucking tap out. You're like, oh my God, it's fucking hot in here. Oh my God, I'm going to fucking pass out.
And then everybody's body energy gets even hotter. Yep. And I'm like, dude, I'm drinking gallons of water. But you know what's so crazy? I love it that it's the same exact like practice every time you go. It never changes. It's the same. Yeah, it's the same poses, which is good. I like that.
But they never get easy.
Oh no, never.
I just feel like every time I go in there, it's still really fucking hard.
It's hard.
All right, let's go on to the next one.
Okay.
If you were a man for a day, what would be the first thing you did?
If I was a man for a day.
Yeah, just a day. The first thing, not what would you do? What's the first thing you would do? Don't even think about it. Tell me the answer.
I would pee standing up. Literally.
She's like, freedom!
I would pee standing up.
That's good. I'd never think about it. We take it for granted.
It was so good. I would totally pee standing up. And then I'll give you a little extra. I'll take off my shirt and walk around with my shirt off. I love doing that. And I hate that I can't do that as a woman because it's like...
Hashtag free the nip.
Basically, you can't do it. But if I was a guy, I would take off my shirt, pee standing up. That's like total freedom.
That's so crazy.
Women cannot do that. It's considered indecent exposure. And I think it's...
That is criminal.
It's kind of weird. I mean, you know, whatever.
Nobody's complaining. You know who's complaining?
The men.
People who aren't getting laid. That's who's complaining.
Yeah.
Men who aren't getting laid. They're like, I can't be looking at titties all day. It's because it's so crazy to you. You can't, you know what I mean? Like, they don't see titties on a regular basis. So they're losing their shit or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's interesting to me that men, like, you know, you guys have pecs. We have breasts. And it's like, you guys can take off your, like at the beach sometimes. I don't want to wear my freaking bathing suit. It's so uncomfortable. It's gotta be super uncomfortable. Yeah. It's so uncomfortable. Yeah. So I'm like, a bra all day is probably gotta be super uncomfortable. A bra all day is so uncomfortable. So it's like the fact that you guys don't have to do that. It's extra weight. So liberating. So, but pee standing up is definitely one of my favorite things. Pee standing up, like,
taking off his shirt, be like, look at me.
I would love to do that.
That's fucking funny. See that, gentlemen? Don't take your dicks for granted. And don't take your non-tits for granted either.
Exactly.
If you could pick one thing to wear for the entirety of your life, what would it be?
A leotard. And jeans.
You can't, just one thing. Leotard?
I would wear a leotard.
It's versatile.
Yeah.
Right. Works for me. Boom. Let's go into some current events, Leslie.
Let's do it.
All right.
Don't talk to me about Donald Trump, please.
No, I won't.
Okay, good.
I won't. Okay. This thing is not working very well. Boom. Check this.
Boy 9 claps. What?
This boy is 9 years old.
He clapped 1,080 times in 1 minute. Are you kidding me?
This kid ain't got shit to do, man.
Did he just really do that?
Oh my god.
How did he do that?
Oh my god. Check it out. We're gonna watch him.
First of all, the only question I have is whose kid is that?
I know. Why are you taking his kid?
Oh, he's wearing a Marlin shirt? He's from Miami?
I don't know, maybe. Let's watch it.
That's crazy.
It's probably gonna give me a commercial. It is gonna give me a commercial. Oh, there it is. Look at this little fucking kid.
Oh my god.
Oh man, what is this? Guinness World Records? Officially amazing.
Hello, my name's Sam Wade. I'm going to try to break the record of speed clapping.
What the hell? What am I watching?
Look at this shit. Oh my god, he's super concentrated.
This is so intense. He's going hard. He's like... Is he getting paid for this?
He has the record, the world record.
Oh my god.
Fastest kid in the world. Fastest kid alive.
I don't even feel like that's that fast.
It does not.
Dude,
it's probably his technique, though.
Yeah. The way he's doing it. Down, up.
He's getting tired.
Do you see the face?
Yeah, like,
the face is hardcore.
Face of concentration.
Like, like, yeah. He's like mad at the end. Yeah. Like, I'm not a...
Is this a minute already?
It's just, I noticed, okay, I'm going. Wow, you could literally be famous for anything in the United States.
I'm telling you, man. Claps 1,000 times.
What?
1,080 times in 1 minute. He's tired. He's like,
so
you know
he broke the record. He's so over. He's like, I'm done.
Yeah, he's like, I'm the fastest kid in the world. Just give me the goddamn record
yeah,
already.
Yeah. At the end, he's like, yeah. Oh my God. Does he need to massage his hands?
Oh, look. So it's just slowly.
Oh, look, Miami, Florida. That's, of course.
Of course he's from fucking Miami. Is he Cuban? What's his name?
Yeah, I know, right? Is he Cuban?
Cubans break all the records.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm telling you. You don't know. They're in there's one Steve Seven Wade. His name is Seven. He has some hippie ass
that's
parents.
A dope ass name. Seven Wade? That's
Seven
dope.
Wade. It is kind of tight, actually.
Seven.
Hi, my name is Seven Wade, reading for the role of fastest clapper in the world.
In the world, I know. It's like crazy.
So check this out. This is a story. We don't have to go in detail about it and watch this video, but supposedly, goes in line with what you were talking about earlier. The Mavericks employees had been like sexually harassed. 2 of them. One of them got fired recently, and one of them was there 2 years ago. And they're all talking about that they think that Mark Cuban knew, like everybody knew. The Dallas Mavericks employees. I don't know. It's kind of crazy, and I don't know. I wanted to get your take on like what do you think. Like I'm sure you've experienced it, right? Sexual harassment in the workplace.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think? What do you think is like the thing that we need to do to change?
I think everyone needs to start like probably being honest about what's occurring. You know, like exposing it.
Yeah.
I think people need to. You know, it's all about
which is
ethics.
happening right now.
It's all about ethics, and I think that people need to kind of sometimes put ethics on people. Like you know, like you got to put it in, and you got to be like. First of all, it's that whole like power trip.
I fucking hate that.
It's such a like.
Such a bitch move.
I think it's a really and it's really shitty that women and men have
both.
to experience that because it's both sex.
Yeah,
you know, it's not just women.
Yeah.
I feel
the
like
overwhelming majority is women though.
Yeah, but you know, I also feel like a lot of men are really speaking out because they almost feel so uncomfortable about it. Yeah. But I literally have met men that have told me like I've experienced this. I just don't want to talk about it because it's like it's degrading to them, and it's like
I have too. Like I don't, but I think the difference is the physical threat is non-existent.
Yeah.
A woman could harass me or whatever, and it's this and that, and it could be a power thing or whatever. But it's like at the end of the day, like I could just shove this lady fucking across the room if I don't want her to touch me. You know what I mean? Worst case scenario if she's going crazy. But a woman can't do shit like most of the time. You know what I mean? A dude can overpower her and do whatever the fuck he wants. And if you're like sharing an office with this dude and you're like, you know what I mean? Like that. It's totally different. I think that's what divides it.
I think it's different too. But what if a man does it to another man?
That's true.
Which is like it's not rare.
It's not.
It's very like common.
It's happened to me too with gay dudes.
Exactly. That's
gay
what I'm
dudes
saying.
Are very aggressive sometimes.
Sometimes very aggressive, and it's just like it's one of those things that you gotta put the ethics in. It. Like, dude, I don't want you to touch me.
Yeah.
I don't, especially when you're threatening somebody with their jobs. It's so bad, and it's like. I feel like you got to teach people a lesson sometimes.
I think that's a bitch move too, though. You know what I mean? Like that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do to get some kind of action in your life. Like you got to threaten people's jobs and shit. Like make other people, and that's got to be weird too. Like you got to be fucked up to like get pleasure off of someone else. How am I gonna enjoy some shit if somebody just has to do something that they don't want to do? You know what I mean?
Want to do exactly. I think it's completely. I was like, you know, everything that's going on right now in Hollywood, this whole like Me Too movement. Yeah. And I feel like it should have happened a very long time ago.
It's
and
overdue.
I feel like a lot of women too should have spoken out.
Yeah.
And if they were gonna get blacklisted anyways, they should have spoken out from the beginning.
But it's hard. How do you tell somebody that when you're like, you know what I mean? It's one thing that have you watched Dave Chappelle's latest special?
I haven't seen it. The one on Netflix?
Yeah, it's the last one he just put out.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I saw the first
He
one.
talks about the whole man.
He's hilarious.
Oh, but he dropped some real shit on this last one at the end of it. Oh my god, it's like emotional.
He's amazing. Really?
And he talks about and he just says, you know, some women can carry more weight than others. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you can't condemn the ones that can't carry as much weight.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? It's just like some women had to, you know, they didn't have the courage to say no or stand up or be like, I'm gonna speak out or whatever. And you can't fucking hate them for that. Like that's where they're at, and you can't be like, you should have said something, because it's like, you know, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's not helping anyone either. You know what I mean? They didn't want to do it. I'm sure if they could have done something about it, or if they felt they had the potential to do something about it, they would. But you know, you can't hold those people accountable. I think that a lot of it, that's what it is. A lot of women, they just couldn't. You know what I mean? They couldn't do shit. You couldn't do shit.
No, you know, I don't disagree. I just feel like once you open that door, It's like
100%. But how do you know that when you're in the situation? It's good to see it. It's easy to see like externally. You know, like, oh, I see what's happening. Okay, now that he's in, he's gonna keep doing this shit all the time.
Yeah.
But you don't, you know, under those stakes, that high pressure or whatever, like you don't, you know what I mean? Like,
well, to me, it goes back to creating your own jobs.
Yeah.
So you could be the boss, and
Exactly.
you to be the one to be like, you're not doing that shit around my watch.
It wasn't possible back then, right? Because the avenues of distribution were controlled.
Yeah.
And this is why everything's changing now.
Exactly.
Because now there is no control over who puts good content's gonna find ears, and it's digital. So it's like you can't, you know, this executive, you know, this fucking Weinstein types and shit. They don't. It's all going. That whole world, you know, it's coming down. So now it's like, fuck this dude. He did this and this and this and this and that. Here's the tapes. Here's the recordings. Here's all this shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And it was like it should have happened a very long time ago. But it's like you said, some women aren't as strong as others. But it's just like, I feel like it's like.
But also, he could have destroyed most people's lives because of the time. It's a different time now.
It is a different time, and I don't. You know what I mean? He could have destroyed a lot of people's lives.
With his lawyers and shit. Like,
but now look, his life is destroyed. So it's just like it is what it is.
And that's what we call karma.
Karma's karma, and it's gonna come around. So it's just like I feel like.
But you can't depend on that shit. They're being like, because you don't know when it's gonna be. It's gonna be 10, 20, 30, 40 years. You know what I mean? And that's how long it was for him.
Exactly. It was forever.
You know, and how many women went through that in those decades? You know, the whole Bill Cosby thing and all this crazy shit. It's just like. Yeah. The culture's also changed, like the way people talk about it, like the way people talk about women in film, and the way they're portrayed, and everything it's like a boat, man. It's a slow turning boat, you know.
Yeah, it's changing for sure. But like I said, to me, I feel like the way to answer it is like, for me, my answer is to create your own jobs and like make it a safe environment, make it an environment of creation, and an environment of like. It's about making movies, making films, telling stories. It's not about who you're gonna want to have sex with.
But this is also the thing too, that this translates in every industry.
Every industry.
So it's like, not everybody has the ability to create their own jobs. Like I always think about like.
Why not though?
Housekeepers that are, you know, illegal immigrants that are in hotel rooms. How many of those women have to deal with shit? I'm sure hotel rooms is a fucking breeding ground for sexual harassment and housekeeping. Yeah. Because it's people in a hotel, like the woman's entering. Like, how many dudes are like beating off or some crazy, some weird, freaky shit that are like, these women can't really say anything about because they're undocumented or whatever. You know what I mean? It's happened. What are they gonna do? How are they gonna create their own job? They're gonna fucking, you know what I mean? Like.
I mean, I think
the culture has to change. I think the way we raise our fucking kids has to change.
The way we raise our kids, for sure.
You know?
And exactly. The way it's like, but you have to realize too, it's like, it's not even just the way you raise your kids. You might raise your kids a certain way, but then they grow up to be like this fucking, you know, they might have an influence like it's like in high school. Like my mom didn't raise me to do half the things that I did, but I did it because I was so influenced with my peers that it was like I was like, if I don't do this, I'm not cool enough or whatever, you know. And it's just like one of those things. Shit. It's like peer pressure, but we got out of it, right? Me and you. So it's just like a lot of it is like, I feel like speaking and just being really honest about everything that's occurring to you, instead of just it might be scary, but you never know who is on the same boat as you.
And everybody usually is. There's always somebody.
Everyone usually is. Like, look how long it took these women to speak out, and when these women spoke out, it was like a line of people.
Me too.
It was like a bunch of people,
and it became a hashtag.
And
hashtag me too.
And then it's like this thing. It's like this thing now, and it's like, you know.
But it's good. I think it's waking up. But now. We're at this. We're reaching this plateau. I feel like we're gonna reach to this point, and they're like, okay, how do we proceed? Yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
how do we do our part? I mean, for me, I feel like I want to do my part. Is like I want to create my own jobs. I want to make it a safe environment. I want my sets to be safe. I want my environment to be about creation. That's how I could put my 2 cents in. Yeah. You know, and make it about
do your part.
Do my part. Yeah. And I feel like everybody should do their own little
and influence all those people that are going to be on your set. And then if they go on and do their own productions, they're going to influence people on their sets.
And just be an influence, like a positive influencer on the culture, and that's it. Like, I feel like that's just, for me, my answer. Yeah. Because if like
it's a good answer, because the way to change the world is you got to start with the fucking world inside of you.
Exactly. You start with you and like the way that you want to see that world. Yeah. Right? And it's your universe. It's like, how are you going to create that universe that you want?
You got to become the person you needed when you were an 8-year-old.
Become the universe that you want to be. And that's it.
That's some real hippie talk.
That's some real hippie shit right there. That's like some real shit.
All right. What do you want to leave the people off with? One last thing. What do you want to plug? What you doing? What do you want to say?
The message, the last little message.
Dun, dun, dun.
Honestly, for me, it would be like speak your truth. Like, honestly, now that you just woke that up with me, you woke that up with me. It's like literally speak your truth and like just don't hide any kind of emotion within anybody, like within your peers. Be vulnerable, be honest, be real, tell your truth. Like, I'm such a firm believer on like telling the truth and speaking the truth. And like, even if it might be the worst thing, like let's say you're with your girlfriend and you had a moment of like weakness.
I always do that shit. I always get in trouble because I'm too honest.
It's good though. It's like better to be honest and better to tell the truth than, you know,
but also
be hiding.
If I always say, if you're telling the truth all the time, you don't have to lie. Or sorry, you don't have to remember shit. If you know what I mean? Because when you lie, you have to remember like your lies and shit. I smoke weed. I'm not gonna remember my fucking lies.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna tell the truth, even if it gets me in trouble.
Exactly. I tell the truth at all times. I live off of the truth, and that's how I influence like anybody around me. I'm like, don't ever pretend. It's like, you're an artist. Yeah. Do you lie in your art, or do you tell the truth? You want to tell the truth, so let's live life.
That's what we're doing
telling
right now
the
here.
Truth.
Live life telling the truth.
Exactly. And like what we've been speaking about has just been pure honesty, and that's just like pretty much the last thing that I would probably end this off. I'd just be honest and tell the truth.
Yo, she just sprayed you guys with
Speak
some goddamn
your truth.
fire.
Exactly.
Where can they follow you? What's your handle?
At Leslie Lluvet.
I'm gonna put it like right here, right under.
Yeah, at Leslie Lluvet.
Lluvet.
My show's gonna be on my website. That's gonna come out.
Boom.
Everything I'm ever gonna be filming is gonna be on the website. So
doing your own shit, creating your own jobs,
creating my own jobs.
Speaking true to her fucking word, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, the universe. Let's do it.
All right, y'all. This is episode 53.
Nice.
Signing off once again.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.